about casinos? Hi, how are you? I'm good. I'm Angela, one of our presenters.
Yeah. Krishna.
Krishna, nice to meet you. I think we've met before. You look
Presenting today?
familiar. Yeah. Okay.
Krishna. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. Awesome. So you're
Yes.
presenting first, or
Yes, we cannot call Krista like we called Prem Term last week.
That is true. There's not two people presenting today. Yeah, I believe so. Usually we have two. It's a 6-minute presentation and a 20-minute. Yeah, this Okay, well, I believe when I first came in, I asked, and they did mention two, unless they had changed or they had not, the image not updated on the website. Maybe, it is a possibility. But usually there's two. Very few times we've only had one presenter. If it is one presentation, it's still 6 minutes and 20 minutes. So, why, were you planning on making a longer presentation? No, we have a plan. Oh, it's cool, yeah. It's alright, we can expand on it. Yeah. If you have a 5-minute presentation, if you feel like you want to expand a little bit more, feel free. But sometimes they will stop you at the 6-minute mark. Yeah. It all depends. I think the times that we only had one presenter, they were free to go over the 6 minutes just because of time constraints. So it's not your first time presenting? No, this is my second time. Oh, right. First time I presented at Okay. And right after lunch, I got my first investment. Awesome. Okay, so this is a new project that you will be presenting today. That is amazing. That's great. Oh, yeah, I won't say good luck because I know. I'm sorry? They were all exactly. I like that. But everyone here, if you were already here, everyone was very much welcoming. Very few times have I felt a bit, from the audience, like, no one really attacks the presenter. If anything, they pose questions that might help you instead of belittling your product or something. It's not Shark Tank. That's why Ron calls it guppy tank. Very good. Great.
What's up, Randall? Nice to see you. Hi, nice meeting you. Yeah, I'm the one in the back end, so it's Angel.
We're not UCF. We were everywhere.
We presented a year back in school.
I did 1 year.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. But we're here on Sunday.
One-handed. Look at the skill set.
Got it. I make sure to get them onto it. Do you know what I think? Yeah, I think it's... That's why customer service is
So much better. Nice.
Capona, hurry up.
That's why I did it. I should have got
Good morning. Good morning, good morning. This is 1 Million Cups Kauffman Foundation for Orlando. How many of you are here for the first time? Do we have any newcomers? Yay! Capona,
That's your
we'll let you slide just this time. So real quickly, this is an event by entrepreneurs for entrepreneurs. We're all volunteers here, so real quickly, sitting over there, Angela is one of our organizers. Stephanie and Jan, both of you, right? There you go. Everybody say hello. David's sitting over here. And my name is Ron. So, hi everyone. So real quickly, this is not a Shark Tank event. This is a Guppy Tank event. We're here to help entrepreneurs move along their journey. So this is going to be a 6 minutes presentation, followed by a 20 minutes Q&A. And this is all based on a constructive, uplifting approach to helping them through on their journey. For some of you that are new, I will give you a little bit of history. We started 1.5 years ago, just about, on September 11th. And that brings me to a little announcement. I will be leaving the team in about 2 weeks, actually in 2 weeks. So after a long time of being involved directly, I will now become involved directly with 1 Million Cups. So, but you guys are in great hands and things are really going to be fantastic. Don't forget to send some social media love along the way, so that way people know that you're here and sharing with the entrepreneurship community in Central Florida. So without any further ado, our first presenter, are you guys ready? Let's welcome them on the stage.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah. We can share. Good morning, everyone. I'm MANDA, founder of MANDA Innovatio, and I'm Jacob Croft. I'm co-founder of MANDA Innovatio, CEO. All right. I'd like to get started by talking about bad drivers. Everyone has faced a bad driver, and we always complain about them. But have you ever thought about where you stand in the community of driving, like assessing yourself? Have you ever had an opportunity to do that? If you did, then what would have you ranked yourself? This is something that at the end of the presentation, we hope might answer your question. There are a lot of technologies out there that make driving safer, but there's nothing that makes safer drivers. So let's address that first by looking at what's available for people to use. First, you have GPS. It's standard, you know, it gets you from point A to point B. It has communication that lets you connect with satellite, download data, stream live information, etc., etc. Next, you have, this is a dash cam. This records any incident that happens in your way. Say you get into an accident. This is something that records proof of it. And this is available for $99 on an average. Next, if you're a speed freak, then you have a radar detector that helps you detect radars, etc., etc. It's just something that people use in their cars on the daily. And this is something very interesting, driving assistant. Now what it does is, this is something you plug into your car, and it gives you information of your driving. For example, if you start quickly or you stop quickly, It records that and shows how it affects your gas, so at the end of the year it helps you save gas, mileage, etc., etc. But none of these things actually give you a record or compare you against other drivers on the road. This is the reason why we started a project. We call it Project Oculus, and the point behind Project Oculus is to combine all these technologies into one app and put it in the hands of everyone, because everyone has a device that is capable and much more powerful than all those four put together, but it's just not being put to use. And that's our project. And Oculus is the translation from Latin for eye, and that's our point, is that it's the third eye for everyone. It helps you look into things. And exactly.
So, as I'm sure you caught it, the one device, the mystical device that has all these capabilities is probably in your pocket right now. It's a smartphone. So essentially what we're doing is we're offering you an application, something that can make you into a safer driver. It can give you the warnings, give you all the tools you need to become more effective on the road. So essentially what it's doing, it's turning your daily drive into something comparable to Jaguar's heads-up display, racing-inspired heads-up display. So, essentially what we're doing is we want to give you all the tools so that when you're not paying attention, if you have some faults, you have some strengths and weaknesses in your driving, what this is able to do is make up for those strengths and weaknesses. If you're not paying attention, you get too close to the car in front of you, you're talking to a friend, looking out the window, whatever, this is able to warn you, give you both a visual and audible tone to make sure that you get back on track. If you're not paying attention, you douse off, you start to drift out of your lane, this is also there to catch you. So we understand people always say, don't use your phones while you drive. It's a sad fact that we have to. GPS function. I can't get from point A to point B very effectively unless I have somebody telling me where to go. I actually came in from Miami this morning, 3.5-hour drive to be able to do this presentation. I wouldn't have made it here unless I used my phone. Also streaming music. A lot of people, a lot of the younger generation, they like to stream music while they do their daily commutes. It takes some stress off. So we understand there are things that you have to utilize in your phone. What we're trying to do is offer you one complete package. So everything is in one place. You don't have to close one application, go to another, and you still get all the safety features that we mentioned before. So the one thing that we haven't really mentioned yet is what's different about us. We can't just be an all-in-one. We're not really doing anything for you. We're not doing anything different. So what we're introducing is a way for you to track your stats as a driver. We want to be able to give you something that's going to automatically create a driver profile for you, tell you where your strengths and weaknesses are in driving, compare you to your friends, compare you to people in-state, out-of-state, all across the nation to see how you are as a driver and track your progress and become better drivers over time. So in this way, we're not making, another crash avoidance system where we're going to make it a little bit less likely for you to crash, but overall, we're making you into more experienced drivers. So you already have the phone. What is it going to take for you to actually get this technology in your hand? We're trying to make it free. And in fact, I'm working with my marketing director right now. We're trying to get it, if you leave me your name, your address, and everything, we're going to send you an iPhone 7 with this technology, and you can put it directly in your hand. I mean, not really. We can't actually do that. But what we are going to do,
we're trying.
as you understand, we have to use the camera, we have to use technology within your phone, so it has to be in a stable position. It's going to have to, what we're doing is we're offering a mount to go in coordination with this, make it more effective, make sure there's no obstructions, nothing's going to interfere with the technology. So what we're trying to do is actually give some of you guys, some of the initial users of this application, the mount for free. So essentially that's, in a nutshell, our technology. Here's our contact information, and I'd like to open up for questions if you have any.
Yeah, raise your hand with questions when you have them, and we'll bring the mic over.
Whoa. Haven't seen that for a long time.
Very interesting. I mean, obviously I use a few of those items that are already up there, but do you even have a prototype built yet? I mean, to me, it seems like there's a lot of pieces to go into a phone that I'm a pretty technical guy. I just can't figure out how this phone's gonna, do all this other stuff.
Exactly. So actually, all the technology is already there. Essentially, what we're using is we're using the camera to do all the visual work on this thing. We're using the transmitter and the phone-to-phone communication to facilitate other capabilities within the phone. The technology is there. All we need to be able to do is integrate something where we can actually use this technology in a way that's beneficial. So essentially what you do is on the technical side of things, using the camera to get all the readings, how closely you get to other cars, how quickly you're accelerating. You use GPS to use how quickly you're accelerating, how quickly you decelerate, things like that. With the lane departure warning, if you're getting more warnings, obviously you're more a distracted driver. So we use all this information, all this data. We sort of create a profile for you, and that way we can compare you to other drivers. Does that make sense?
Do you have the beta though?
We're actually developing a beta currently. We've gotten investment. We got investment starting actually this month, in the month of May. And we're having development throughout the year, and through December we should be able to release the initial prototype on the market.
Who gave you the investment?
It's our personal investor, Amish Mohammed.
Is he related, or is he connected to the automotive field, or?
Yeah, he has actually passed in the automotive field, but he's actually an independent angel investor. He's not connected with the VC firm or anything like that.
What will the price point be, and will it be the consumer, or the insurance companies, or the auto manufacturers?
Well, essentially what we want to do is, what we realized is once you get, some of these systems are already out there. You already have access to frontal collision warning system. You already have access to lane departure systems. But the thing is, when you're buying these new vehicles, what you have is, a $1,500 system to be able to give you all the sensors needed and all the software needed to be able to facilitate those capabilities. So essentially what we're trying to do is we're marketing this product to the people that can't afford those things. And even still, if you have an older vehicle, the automotive market's in such a way that they always try to buy new things. They always need you to buy new things. They don't make cars to last 10, 15 years anymore. So it's always pushing new technology. So the older cars, they don't even have this option. What we're trying to do is release to the people. Initially, we're trying to release to the people that can't afford these systems for the newer cars, and the people that have the older cars. And from there, we want to be able to partner with insurance to be able to use this driver profile, this driver analysis that we're doing, to be able to give them cut breaks in their insurance, things like that.
So, because we had a similar thing. We had a similar service on or technology in our Volvo XC60 when it first came out. Now I think Mercedes and some other people have it. So is it the insurance? Who's paying? Who will pay for the?
Well, essentially what we're doing is it's a monthly subscription.
Yeah.
So we offer the base model. We give you everything, all the main features on a free application for you to use. You buy the mount, and you can use it to fullest capabilities only after you end up subscribing for like $5 per month.
Okay.
Good.
Hi, actually, I have several questions. Good morning.
All right.
First question, it's along the same lines as his. Really, who's your target audience to sell the data to? Because it's really about the data. Yes?
Well, we're using that data to be able to create all these. I mean, the main idea with this data is being able to create a profile so that we can partner with insurance companies.
Right. So just so you know, over here, because I have Geico, I could have gotten that. There's no way that someone's going to follow me around. Just no way. Because I have a 2007, okay, and I'm almost 290,000 miles, and I plan on driving my truck until the wheels fall off. So the whole cars don't last any longer. That's not accurate anymore. Mercedes and Volvo, really almost all the European cars, people have had their cars for 20, 30 years. So just saying. So I am not your target audience. I don't want anybody to know what's going on with me in my driving. I really don't, right? As a consumer. Now, put my insurance hat on. Whole different ballgame, right? So I totally get your target audience to sell the data there. The second thing, and I have a concern, right, is the comparison thing. Today in the world, we're trying to eliminate comparing and contrasting people. There's a lot of things going on out in the world that we're trying to pit one group against another. This could potentially do the same thing, right? So that's what I want. How are you going to overcome that? Dana, your coffee's up here.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
We took inspiration for our comparison from the app that I used for the last 82 days constantly. It's called Elevate. They charge you about $4. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's won the App of the Year award, etc., etc. That's basically how we wanted to use it. If it's available if you want to see it. If you don't, then we understand that. We understand that every person is different. Absolutely. I personally would like to see, I'd like to be on top of the line. Some people don't. On top of the what? I'm sorry? On top of the line. I want to be in the 100%. If I'm a driver, I don't want to be 100%.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, but you're a rule follower.
I'm a different kind of a guy.
Yeah. I'm not saying I'm a rule breaker. I just don't, it's my business how I drive.
Yeah. Yeah.
not yours.
Well,
Do-
we're not
do-
going to sell
yeah.
your data. It's up to you whether you want to utilize it or not. This is basically
Okay,
to help
good.
You. Yeah,
So this is to make a difference for me,
exactly.
to see how lousy of a driver I am.
Exactly.
Great, so we're building my self-esteem. Awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Next question's over here.
All right, well, a bit less of a question than on Sci-Fi
Okay.
last Friday. They actually did a really good summary of the different apps for what you're talking about here, all the different apps that integrate with your driving, apps which connect, you plug it under the car, and have, get, compile all your data, whatever. So they did about a 15-minute thing on all the different potential apps. So I would recommend just going to the Science Friday website and pulling that up and just spending 15 minutes and listening. You'll hear the full range of potential competition out there, and get some decent validation just from listening to that.
Thank you so much.
I have a question over here.
Hi, so Jan, I love when we foster healthy debate here. But I'm the girl that I love the fact that I plugged my snapshot in, right? And I drove it for 2 months and they gave me a lower rate. So I think it's great. And again, it was optional. Now I would recommend that when you present and pitch, that you talk about the difference between individual data and aggregate data. Because your market for aggregate data for all the people using this is kind of, Jan, what you're doing in Africa and the areas that you're serving. So the aggregate data is what you want to talk about so people don't go, oh my God, they're collecting my data, right? And then again, focus on the individual piece of it's an option if you want to share to get better rates. That said, that wasn't my original question. My original question was, I don't understand the visual of where this is going to go so that I am at once using it effectively and also not being distracted by the use of it. So can you talk about that physical metrics where it exists?
My CEO should be able to explain that better.
So essentially, like I said, we're trying to produce a mount. So are you familiar with GoPro at all? GoPro mounts, yeah. So essentially with GoPro, you can, whatever you're doing, if you're driving a car, you're flying a plane, whatever, they have mounts for that. They can stick it wherever you need it to be able to get a good shot. So it's along the same lines, along the same concept. So essentially, how a lot of these things work, you know, where you would put a radar detector in your car, where you put a GPS in your car, essentially on the windshield, just below the rear view mirror. So it's not obstructing any vision, nothing like that. There's no cords in the way, anything like that. It's still there if you want to use the visual cue. But most of the cues, what we're expecting, is most of this, we want it to be hands-free. We want it to be, you don't have to touch it, you don't have to look at it. We wanted everything to be focused around audio. That way, you know, we're trying to cut down on distracted driving. If you had to, you know, click things and answer questions while you're driving, obviously it's counterintuitive. So everything that we're relying on, most of the warnings, most of everything is going to be through an audio medium.
And I get what you're saying. I bet someone's about to follow up with this. The difference between the GoPro and the radar detectors, et cetera, is that there aren't 3,000 other things on it, like Twitter, Facebook notifications, email notifications distracting me. Are you going to have I'm just saying, I think you should address that somewhere in your presentation, that you've got a way to overcome that issue.
Exactly.
So it's
like,
not two things at once.
Yeah, essentially. So you're still gonna, if you have notifications, that's something that we can't overcome. If you have, you know, your phone goes off, it dings. I mean, no matter where it is in your vehicle, it's going to go off, it's going to ding. So anything, all the things that we're trying to do, we're trying to make our application seamless with, you know, if you have to use music, if you have to type in the address, we want to have voice commands for all of that. So all of your GPS would be able to do voice integration. If you're going to be doing your music browsing through Spotify, any music that you happen to have on your device specifically, we want to have voice controls for that. So we're doing our best on our end, but you're still going to have notifications and things like that from other applications.
Okay.
Okay, along those same lines, I am not a text-y person. I'm an old school guy, and there's this thing on there. It's actually called a phone.
Yeah.
And for us old people that like to use it, what happens when